All right. Good evening, everyone. We'll get started with this evening's meeting. And before we do that, I'll call the meeting to order right at 5 p.m. And the first order of business is our land acknowledgement. That we acknowledge that the land on which we gather is Treaty 2 land, traditional territory of Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe Cree, Assiniboine, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and homeland of the Métis Nation. We affirm our commitment to moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of collaboration and reconciliation. Just reading the acknowledgement today, I just also wanted to, acknowledge that Murray Sinclair passed away today, and he was extremely instrumental in the Truth and Reconciliation inquiry process, and I think that's a tremendous loss for our province. A leader like that. So sad news today. Next order of business. Are there any additions or amendments to today's agenda? No. So the motion by Deputy Mayor Lachlan and seconded by Councillor Ray, be it resolved that Council accepts the regular meeting agenda as presented. All in favor? Opposed? Seeing none. Carried. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Be it resolved that Council waives the reading and accepts and approves as circulated the minutes of the following meeting, and that's our regular Council meeting of October the 21st. All in favor of this motion? Anyone opposed? Carried. Moving to the consent agenda. There are a couple of filing items for today's meeting. There were several Manitoba news releases. One by the Premier in regards to the Carberry bus crash, and the first responders were inducted into the Order of the Buffalo Hunt, and that the Manitoba Progressive Conservatives remember Bob Sopak, who passed away recently, and there was a funeral this past weekend. From Community Futures Parkland, we have their November 24th newsletter, and from Mountain View School Division, we have their news digest of October 15th. Moved by Deputy Mayor Lachlan, seconded by Councillor Daly, be it resolved that all items listed and read under item 5, the consent agenda, be approved and form part of these minutes. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Motion is carried. Moved by Councillor Daly and seconded by Councillor Ray. Be it resolved that the finance accounts, having been examined by Council, be hereby authorized and approved as follows. We had 39 checks in the recent check run, totaling $219,688.73. There were no voided checks in the current range, no voided checks in the past range, and there were no electronic payments for this period. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information the minutes from the following committee meeting, and that's from the Intermountain Watershed District, their regular board meeting of August the 8th. Questions or comments? All in favor? Motion is carried. Moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Councillor Sobering. Whereas the province of Manitoba, from the ground up, Safe Healthy Communities for All program provides application-based project funding to support a broad range of community renewal efforts, community capital projects, and children and youth initiatives. And whereas the city submitted an application to the From the Ground Up program for funding to support the city's zoning bylaw review project, be resolved that Council accepts as information correspondence dated October the 23rd from the Honourable Ian Bushy, Minister of Municipal and Northern Relations, advising that the City of Dauphin has been conditionally approved to receive from the ground up funding of up to $40,000 for the city zoning bylaw review project. Questions or comments? All in favor? Motion is carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Lachlan, seconded by Councillor Daly. Whereas with the province's From the Ground Up Safe Healthy Communities for All program provides application-based funding to support broad range of projects. And whereas the Creative Commons submitted an application to this program for funding support for the Makerspace project, which will provide a collaborative workspace in Dauphin's downtown area to access tools, equipment, and educational resources that would allow members to explore their creativity and learn new skills in a supportive and accessible environment. Be it resolved that Council accepts information correspondence dated October 23rd, again from the Honorable Ian Bushy, Minister of Municipal and Northern Relations, advising that the Creative Commons has been conditionally approved to receive up to $80,000 for this innovative makerspace project. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Moved by Councillor Sobring, seconded by Councillor Ray. Whereas the province's Criminal Property Forfeiture Fund liquidates seized criminal assets and directs the proceeds to projects and initiatives designed to protect Manitobans and enhance public safety. And whereas the city, in partnership with the RCMP, was successful in a 2023-24 application to the Criminal Forfeiture Fund for a grant in the amount of $43,896.75, which fully funded upgrades to the city's security camera system, including the replacement of 7 existing cameras on city-owned properties to high-resolution functionality and the addition of 10 high-res cameras at strategic locations throughout the city, and that this project was completed in 2023. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information a news release dated October 21st, acknowledging the city's successful application to the 2024-25 intake of the program for a grant in the amount of $24,353 to support the installation of 15 new high-res cameras at additional city-owned and city-affiliated facilities, which will strengthen our efforts to enhance public safety, deter criminal activity, and support the monitoring of high-priority areas for improved community security. Questions or comments? All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Laughlin, seconded by Councillor Daly, whereas on behalf of the City of Dauphin, Stantec Consulting released a request for proposal on August the 23rd for required wastewater treatment equipment for the city's lagoon, which closed on September the 13th of this year. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information a memo dated November 4th from the Director of Public Works and Operations advising that Stantec received 3 proposals for the supply of wastewater treatment equipment and has recommended that the RFP be awarded to Nexom Inc. of Winnipeg for $3,812,800 plus applicable taxes for the supply of the required equipment and $659,500 plus taxes for the installation of such equipment. Further, we resolve that Council agrees with the recommendations by Stantec and the Director of Public Works and Operations and approves this RFP for wastewater equipment to be awarded to Nexom Inc. for $3,812,800 plus taxes for the equipment and $659,500 plus taxes for the installation cost to be paid for from a combination of the city's water and sewer reserve, the Canada Community Building Fund, and the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program. Further be resolved that Council authorizes the city to enter into an agreement with Nexom for the supply and installation of this equipment to be signed and sealed by the mayor and the city manager on behalf of the city. Questions or comments? All in favor? Anyone opposed? Thank you. Moved by Councillor Ray, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Whereas since 2011, the City of Dauphin has leased 2,957 square feet of office space on the second and third floors and 280 square feet of storage space in the basement of CNR Place to Manitoba Prosecution Service. And whereas Manitoba Prosecution Service's current 3-year lease term for the occupation of space at the rate of $25.72 per square foot for office space and $5 per square foot for storage space, with the 2010 base year for operational inflation calculations will expire on March 31st, 2025. Be it resolved that council accepts information correspondence dated October 10th from Diane Berg, Real Estate and Contract Services. Manitoba Consumer and Government Services will offer to extend and amend the lease between the city and the province for the Manitoba Prosecution Services to occupy said space at CNR Place for a 5-year term at a rate of $29.33 per square foot for office space and $5 per square foot for storage space, with the base year being 2022, and a memo dated October the 18th from the Deputy City Manager recommending that this lease be approved. Further be resolved that council agrees with the Deputy City Manager's recommendation and authorizes the offer to extend and amend the lease at CNR Place for a 5-year term from April the 1st, 2025 to March 31st, 2030 at the proposed rate noted above, signed and sealed by the City Manager on behalf of the City of Dauphin. Questions or comments? All in favor? Opposition? None? Carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Stakala. Be it resolved that council accepts as information correspondence dated October 15th from Lori Hickaway, manager of the Intermountain Watershed District, regarding the City of Dauphin's appointees for the Vermilion River Sub-District. And further be resolved that council appoints myself and Jerry Miller as the city's reps for the Intermountain Watershed District Subcommittee, Vermilion River Subcommittee, for a 1-year term starting January the 1st. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Carried. Moved by Councillor Daly, seconded by Deputy Mayor Laughlin. Whereas the City of Dauphin participates in the Manitoba Crime Stoppers program, be resolved that council accepts as information correspondence dated October the 8th from Crime Stoppers Manitoba, updating council on the operations of their board and the crucial role of the program in enhancing the safety of communities, and requesting a donation of 25 cents per resident. Further be resolved that council forwards this request to the 2025 budget deliberations. Questions or comments? All in favor? Carried. Moved by Deputy Mayor Laughlin, seconded by Councillor Ray. Be resolved that council accepts as information the councillor reports for the meeting of November the 4th. Where do we start today? Councillor Bellemare looked me right in the eye, so we're going to start with Councillor Bellemare and work out from the middle.
Okay, I guess I was making eye contact. I was looking at the clock and going, holy smokes. Okay. So council work that I've done recently, I attended a poverty engagement session at the Super 8 recently, and the provincial government has a poverty strategy, and they are seeking input as they refine that strategy. So it was a very activity-based kind of session, and interesting to meet people in our area that are working on this on poverty strategies, and just share information and plan together. So it was really good to network. And a few online meetings related to community safety and well-being, and the RHA AGM. And I met with our city manager to discuss budget priorities for 2025. And with regards to community events, this Thursday at 8th Avenue Hall is the beginning of the Rotary Book Sale. So we don't have a dedicated bookstore in town, so it's really cool to be able to donate books that you're finished with and buy new ones. And new this year, the local quilters group will have a display and other activities during the book sale. And for those people wondering about wine tasting, that one is slated to happen with the spring book sale, not this one. And some congrats in order here. The newly elected school board trustees are now known, and Jerry Thompson is now the new rep for the City of Dauphin. And Jerry has been very involved with our Mama Way Park Committee, and she leads the Food for Thought program at Dauphin Friendship Center, which provides hot lunches for local students. So she's bringing very good experience to that position. I'd also like to say farewell to Phil and Kathy Fafard, who have been in Dauphin for 25 years. Phil has been a very active volunteer, including during the past summer games. He was on the executive, and he's been on the Dauphin Neighborhood Renewal Committee for many years, and he's coached hockey and ball teams. And Kathy's been the director of Tinkerbell Nursery School for many years, plus she's also been an active volunteer. So thank you for all you've contributed to Dauphin. You will be missed, and I'd like to give my condolences as well to the Sinclair family for the loss of Murray Sinclair. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bellemare. Should we go to Councillor Ray or should we go to Councillor Stakilo?
I'm ready to go.
Okay, Councillor Ray. Well,
Thank you, Mayor Boziak. October 21st, I attended the last regular council meeting. On the 24th, I attended the Truth to Action training here at City Hall. On the 28th, I attended our biweekly Community Safety Wellbeing Team meeting with CCFSC. And on the 30th, I was present at the CUP for our rec committee meeting held in the morning, and later in the afternoon, I took part in the CSWB Community of Practice team session. I would also like to pass along my condolences to the Sinclair family, and also my congratulations to Jerry Thompson for getting elected to the MVSD school board. And that concludes my report.
thank you, Councillor Ray. Councillor Daly.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I attended the regular council meeting on October 21st. October 24th, attended the Truth and Reconciliation training at City Hall. October 28th, attended the council P&P. On the 29th, I traveled to Brandon for an Assiniboine College board meeting, where not my sole purpose, but my hope is to assist with the growth of Parkland campus and increased programming, as we also work towards solutions with respect to the new immigration restrictions, which is impacting the college. On October 30th, I spent time with Deputy City Manager Lisa Gadet and David McGinnis from Parkland for the Parkland, reviewing the Animal Services Bylaw. On November 1st, I attended a vet board meeting where we discussed the planning and putting out an RFP for a new metal roof on the vet clinic. Talked about we're going to start negotiation now again with Hydro for the adjacent land now that construction's pretty much done down there, and begin budget planning for 2025 with the vet board. This afternoon, I attended a meeting with a volunteer who is concerned about the Parkland Crossing clothing store closure on December 26th. So we discussed with the mayor and I some options available to her, and we will monitor that. I'll be attending the MMF Community Advisory Board meeting on the 12th, and I will bring that forward to that meeting as well for discussion with the agencies who attend. That's my report. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Daly. Councillor Stakilo, you're up next.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For myself, the October 21st regular council meeting and the Planning and Priorities meeting that was on October 28th. I too was in attendance for the October 30th rec board meeting, and just to note, the general manager there gives his report as he does at all of our meetings, and you just highlighted and commented, how the facilities are being booked, and that there's a lot of activity around the facilities this time of year, which is great. And as anybody that's visited the Credit Union Place probably noticed, there's a little bit of construction going on there due to some water leakage and damage that they had, and that's slowly wrapping up, and it's looking a lot fresher and brighter in the facility. So that's great. So other than that, that ends my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Deputy Mayor Loughlin, you're up.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. For me, pretty quiet as well. October 21st, the regular council meeting here at City Hall, and then on the 28th, the Planning and Priorities meeting. I did, on November 1st, attend the Dauphin Clippers Every Child Matters game. I just want to say hats off to Norman Laquette and all his helpers for a great job well done there, getting the kids into the game. And just everything involved there. It was a very fun afternoon, no doubt. And I too want to send condolences to the Sinclair family, and as well congratulate Jerry Thompson on the election for the Mountain View School Division Board of Trustees. And that ends my report.
Councillor Sobring.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. On October 21, I attended the regular meeting and the 28th Planning and Priorities meeting here at City Hall. On the October 23rd, I was in attendance for a MANSEA report presented by President of Manitoba Sustainable Energy Association, Wayne Clayton. We were part of a pre-feasibility study that explored the use of renewable energy throughout the city and our facilities. We were one of several communities that were selected. Our Director of Public Works and our IT manager were involved in that project, and they have a copy of the report for anybody's perusal if they like. And I believe there is a digital version available as well. On the October the 28th, I attended an economic development meeting. And then later on the October 29th, I attended a meeting with Country Fest Executive. November 1st, I attended a Creative Commons meeting. And there's a lot of excitement towards that project with the From the Ground Up grant of $80,000. And I know the committee and the executive there is very excited to get moving forward. And then finally, I just wanted to offer congratulations to Jerry Thompson on her election win to the MVSD, and also a big thank you to Wayne Clayton, the president for Mancia. He did a lot of work. I believe it's a volunteer position. It's not a big paid thing, and he really put a lot of effort and energy into it. And it's a very thorough report, and it should just be noted that they really went above and beyond in its creation. And that ends my report.
Thank you. And I'll just wrap up, just to highlight a couple of things that what Councillor Sobering specifically was talking about in regards to the Economic Development Committee meeting on Monday. What was interesting and will be presented again in more detail, I believe, later on this month, but the preliminary study or the studies that were done for the economic impact of the festivals, Ukraine festivals and Country Fest, that was funded by our tourism event fund. It was very interesting, and to learn of the financial significance of both of those festivals and the amount of economic activity that they generate was pretty astounding, actually. And so it'll be interesting to see when that information gets shared more in the public domain over the next couple of weeks, how that will how that will affect the community and how we can continue to support both those festivals, as well as Deputy Mayor Loughlin mentioned the Every Child Matters hockey game. I was part of the opening ceremonies, and I think again it's a tremendous another tremendous example of how truth and reconciliation, is a process. It's not a one and done kind of thing. It's a continual education, I think, for all of us. And to see, the seats packed with school kids and a number of chiefs from the First Nations surrounding our community were there, and the elders and the drum group, and then just the two hockey teams that were both decked out in orange trim type jerseys. So I think it was a tremendous activity, and I think it seems to be something that's going to continue on. I get the direct sense from the school that will continue. And then on November 2nd, this past Saturday, along with Martine, our Economic Development Manager, and Clayton Swanton, a board member of the Dauphin Derailleur Cycle Club, I attended a Trails Forum at Riding Mountain National Park. The city has been a significant player in the discussions with Riding Mountain National Park about their trail development strategy. And we've been, I'd like to believe, a bit influential in continuing to inform them of the importance of investment, especially on the trails on the north end of the park, and how the development and enhancement of those trails will tie into the Northgate Trail system and turn that whole north end of the park much more likely destination point. So it was interesting to be there and to see that now we've had 3 of these symposiums over the last 2.5 years, that the tone and tenor of those meetings has gone from basically people yelling and screaming at Parks Canada about why aren't you fixing or updating trails, to having an understanding of the costs and the complications of working on trails and working in the national park and working with a federal government bureaucracy, but the impact that we can have as a neighboring municipality and as a partner in the development of those trails. So I think that there'll be some interesting work done this fall regarding that project, and I look forward to presenting more information as information becomes available. So that ends those reports. I'd like to call for the question then. All in favor? Anyone opposed? Seeing none, motion is carried. And moved by Deputy Mayor Loughlin, seconded by Councillor Stakalo, be resolved that council now be recessed at 5:25 p.m. All in favor?